Hello, I am the poet. Today I give you a story from the horror of stories. Genie Bo is a true horror story from Saudi Arabia. True horror story by Mona Harris. If you don't hurt them, they won't hurt you, and they won't pay attention to you. The earth is not for you alone, son of Adam. They live around us. They are just like you and did not cost like angels. They will be held accountable for their work as you will be held accountable. Do not intrude on their lives and intervene and leave them alone. They worship and live as they are. They will leave you alone and never intrude on your life. With your folly, you destroy everything around you. For the horror of many faces of Dammam, I offer you a very scary real story from Saudi Arabia. I don't know if you'll believe me or not, but it's the real one. Very unfortunately, yes, my story, and my Lord knows that it happened to me. You talk about the underworld and the jinn and what you know about that mysterious world. The underworld destroyed my life. It had an effect. Powers over what I have left from days in life. I don't know why or even what attracts them. So they're chasing me. My story started from childhood. Even my adolescence and youth, even when I got married, didn't leave me alone. They didn't leave my children. My story started since I was 5 years old. I've always heard the sounds of feet. You go down the stairs quickly, and I was quick to see where the sounds came from and who's up the stairs, but I was not seeing anything. I was running on my mom and tell her. She didn't believe me. I wasn't afraid of anything. I just wanted to know who was going up the stairs. The voices lasted for years, and I always felt like an observer. Somebody kept an eye on my actions, until that incident happened. I had a scary experience. I was asleep and the dawn ears were dawn prayers. A few minutes later, I woke up until I prayed dawn, and here I don't know what this has suddenly appeared in front of me is once. He was very short and a terrifying problem. His color tended to be bleak teal. He looked at me and breathed very loudly, and by the end of his head he had 2 small centuries. He was trying to say something, but I was very dismayed and shocked, and I screamed loudly and I read what facilitated me from the Holy Quran and trembled so badly, and he ran away from me, disappeared so quickly. I was dying in horror. And when I told my dad, he told me that I was delusional and maybe I was dreaming of a nightmare. No one believed me. I understood myself that I might really have been delusional, but he showed up again, watched him and tried his day. to strip me of my clothes, and I was asleep, but I took to screaming and echoing the keepers of the Holy Quran. I kept chasing my dreams and I didn't really see it, even waking up feeling a lot of pain in my legs and a lot of scratches on my body and a lot of bruises and blue places like bites in my arms and legs. My mom was marveling at my body view, those bruises and bites, and my father took me to a nearby elder, did my paper and read the Holy Quran. My condition improved thanks to God, but I did not complete my studies. Until the age of my marriage is considerably delayed, the sooner someone comes to me, the more the marriage will fail and will not take place without any rationale. Until my father went to the elder again. He did my paper again. I heard my father talk to my mom. Her day that I was possessed by a jinn lover of my body, nobody told me. But I heard my father. He tells mom her day and recommends that she play the cow picture in the house constantly and do not close it. A month after the treatment, I felt fine, and my cousin came forward to get engaged. And I agreed and married and went to live in my new house. We were in the first week of marriage at the time when I was asleep next to my husband. I felt there was a leap in my chest. I opened my eyes in pain and I thought my husband saw him again with his creepy blue face in front of me. He was angry. And he looked at me angrily, and he promised, but he was dressed in eggs. He carried an axe in his hands, as if threatening me and saying many incomprehensible words. But I didn't understand what he was saying. I couldn't speak or say anything, but at the end I screamed horror to wake my husband up. And then my husband told me that I was delusional and dreaming of something, but I told my mom and she advised me some things, but after several months my marriage ended in divorce and I was pregnant. It was a lot of problems and no-nonsense arguments, and during my short marriage I saw strange things from the past. Even my husband's betrayals I watched with my own eyes confronted him. He was surprised and could not deny, but in fact, he was afraid of me, and then I won't blame him, it's terrifying. You live with someone who sees you and knows what you're doing outside the house. Something terrifying and scary that my husband didn't endure, and we broke up. At my marriage home before divorce was a tree from Sidra. She was dropping her papers so much, so I cut them down and I saw a woman in a dream saying to me, threatening, "We were still underneath them and you burned us in the sun and we were going to burn your life." I don't know. After clipping the tree, problems started to grow between me and my husband until we separated. Am I the reason for clipping the leaves of the tree? I don't know. Then I moved in with my family again and I had my son Abdullah, and from a young age talking to people who were not in the house, he laughed alone and cried alone. When he turned 3, he hid behind me and cried, "They beat me." My father took him to the elder again and he did his fluorescence, and one day I walked into my son's room and he was over a bed and someone carried my son and threw him hard on the floor. She took a scream and went to the hospital where they stitched the wound in his head. She violently hit the wall. Even today, the wound was still visible in his head. From her day, she tightened the legitimate slave and the cow's wall every day. Thank God. These things started to decrease dramatically. And I am now. I live with my son and I still see their strips in front of me walking, and I know they didn't hurt me. They don't hurt anyone if they don't hurt you first, and intruding on their world, they live just like us on earth.